Last year, I was arrested for murdering Matt from Wii Sports, but now I can see where I went wrong. I just talked about too many crimes last year. Identity theft, murder, vehicular manslaughter probably. It was a bit much. So it's time for Season 2 of WinterStar, this time with 100% less crime. The last season started with a video about Kirby's Dream Land, a really good platformer for the Gameboy, so I guess I'll talk about Super Mario Land, a really mediocre platformer for the Game Boy. Nintendo was the first to break into the portable gaming market, starting with the Game & Watch in 1980. It's a game and a watch. Note that I put an asterisk at the end of both game and watch. The Game & Watch was created by Gunpei Yokoi. He saw some guy fiddling with a calculator on a train and thought, what a fucking moron. I'm going to make a thing so he doesn't look like a fucking moron. So he made the Game & Watch, starting with the game Ball. Real descriptive title there. Now the Game & Watch brand actually lived way longer than it should have. Like, the last game was released in 1991. But Yokoi moved on to bigger and debatably better things when he created the Nintendo Game Boy. You know, the Game Boy. Looks like a brick, displays games in one disgusting shade of green. That Game Boy. The Game Boy was a huge leap in portable gaming. The console was released in 1989 and created by the aforementioned Gunpei Yokoi, Satoru Okada, and Nintendo R&D 1. The thing came with 5 buttons, a volume dial, thank God, and a contrast dial, thank God. It quickly outsold all its competition thanks to its battery life and durability, and it definitely helped that the thing released alongside Super Mario Land and Tetris. Now Tetris, everybody loves that game. It's been re-released more times than anybody can count. Nobody leaves the Nintendo eShop without buying another new version of Tetris. But Super Mario Land is a strange thing. Super Mario Land was the first Mario game to have absolutely no involvement from Shigeru Miyamoto, which explains why it's so fucking weird. Directed by Satoru Okada and produced by Gunpei Yokoi, Super Mario Land was the most major release the Game Boy had on launch day. Nobody would buy a Nintendo console if there were no Mario games to go with it at the time. The game introduced Princess Daisy and a bunch of other weird stuff that would never be seen again. The only interesting thing about the advertising was that Nintendo partnered with the Ambassadors of Funk to make a song and, well, listen to this.
My mom, she thinks I'm crazy, but I got to rescue Daisy.
It's great, isn't it? Super Mario Land is currently one of the best-selling games of all time, even having sold more copies than Super Mario Odyssey at the time of writing this. What? Why? I grew up with this game, so I decided I'd look back on it and see if, had I been able to beat it at the ripe old age of 7, would I still look back at it so fondly as I— Oh, hell no! The game's story goes a little something like this. In a kingdom far away from the Mushroom Kingdom, Sarasaland, Princess Daisy is kidnapped by this evil alien guy Tatanga. He just looks goofy. He takes her all the way to the Chai Kingdom, and Mario has to go through Birabuto, Muda, and Easton to reach them. All of those kingdoms are based on real-world places: Egypt, Bermuda, Easter Island, and China. Tatanga's plan is just to marry Daisy. Bowser stole his idea. So I boot up the game and— What's so funny, Mario? He looks like he knows something I don't. Yeah, the title screen is just a still image that moves to a demo if you wait long enough. Once you actually start the game, something is immediately off. It starts you underneath a coin block, which is just strange. There's a pipe right behind you that does nothing. The music is really good, and the Goombas are not actually Goombas and are called Goombos. Yeah, real original there. Mario walks and jumps really awkwardly in this game. I couldn't really explain the physics and controls if I tried. One thing you'll notice from this footage is that I am bad at this game. It's not that the game is particularly difficult, I'm just bad at video games. But that's why I was never able to beat this game as a kid. Also, giant flies. Yeah, this game kinda has a reputation for its bizarre enemies and level design. Also, the can-can was once an official invincibility theme in a Mario game. The bonus game here is whatever this is. That flower gives you a power-up that I don't have enough footage of, the Super Ball. It's basically a fireball that ricochets off of walls and objects and can also collect coins. This thing actually didn't appear again until Super Mario Maker 2 in 2019, probably because it sucks. The final level of World 1 is a dungeon with, once again, great music. They're lion statues that shoot fireballs at you. These things always scared me as a kid. The boss is a bigger lion. Yeah, Bowser's not in this one, and when you kill him, he just explodes. Thank you, Mario. Oh, Daisy. Well, I've seen worse rejection. World 2 has robot enemies that shoot their heads at Mario. Also seahorses that I always thought looked like Kingdra from Pokemon. Other than that, the only really notable thing about the world is that it has even better music than World 1. Seriously, why isn't this the song that got a remix in Smash? Why the dungeon theme? The final level of World 2 is an auto-scrolling shooter. Why? I don't know. Gunpei Yokoi was a weird dude, alright? This level is okay, but also I suck at and hate it more than I suck at and hate the rest of the game. There are these octopi that explode into 2 bullets when you kill them, and for some reason I just kept trying to kill them anyways. I can't blame the game for my own idiocy, but still, fuck these octopi. The boss is yet another Kingdra, but big this time, and it's easily destroyed. Daisy turns into an octopus on World 3. World 3 just has a bunch of Easter Island heads doing various things to annoy and or kill you. Also Bullet Bills, or as they're known in this game, Bullet Biffs, because they're totally unique enemies. These levels are stressful, and I just want to skip over them now, thank you. The last level of World 3 has spiders, and I hate them even more. The boss is an Easter Island statue with hands that throws rocks. You have to jump on the rocks to get over him. This is the boss in this game that not even my mom was able to beat, so I'm pretty proud I was able to get past him. He's not that hard, more just stressful because my anxiety and sense of timing are really bad. World 4 is the final world, and it has great music and these zombies that are apparently not supposed to be cute girls doing some sort of dances. That's what I always thought they were, but the official art says otherwise, and I just don't know. They can only be taken down with a Super Ball, and since I rarely ever had one in this game, they were by far the thing that caused me the most deaths in my playthrough. Their cuteness cannot stop me though. I am determined to rescue this Mario character who I hated until like 6 months ago. I cannot explain why, don't shoot me. The final level is the same concept as the final level of World 2, except in an airplane this time. The boss is a cloud who's relatively simple to beat, but once he explodes... Wait, that's him? That's Tatanga? He's supposed to be intimidating? Well, apparently, because I died like 40 times. You're meant to focus on his bullets instead of him since the cannonballs explode into 3 little bullets, but my small baby brain didn't get the memo for like 15 minutes. After taking him down though, Mario and Daisy meet up and get into a space shuttle to escape Sarasaland, and the epic credit theme starts playing. So is this game worth playing? Oh hell no! This game is not good. Like, if you have 45 minutes to spare and nothing else to do, you could play through this game, but you could also spend that time doing like literally anything else. I loved this game as a kid. It was my first exposure to the Mario series technically, although I will always consider Super Mario Sunshine to be my actual first exposure to it. But this game just isn't good. That's all I really have to say about it. So, Super Mario Land didn't live up to Kirby's Dream Land for me. That's a bit of a downer. So what 2D platformer for the Game Boy could I look at to make me feel better then? Well, I guess I'm doomed to awful obscure platformers from my childhood then.